All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive, and I mean absolutely massive shift in how you interact with your retirement funds. Look, if you've ever spent weeks, maybe even months, chasing down HR signatures and physical stamps just to get your hands on your own money, well, you know exactly how painful the archaic 1952 Employees Provident Fund framework actually is. But say goodbye to all that. We're finally making the long-awaited leap straight into the modern 2026 rules. This is literally a game changer that officially puts the power and the control over your money right back in your hands. So, you really got to ask yourself, is your Provident Fund finally entering the 21st century? For decades, this system has been notoriously rigid, super heavy on the paperwork, but right now, it's actually stepping into the modern age. And honestly, the best part is that this is entirely for the direct benefit of your everyday paycheck right now, and of course, your ultimate retirement down the line.
Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the 2026 EPF Overhaul. Then, your new contribution choices. After that, we'll look at simplifying your withdrawals, followed by job loss and safeguards, and finally, the digital-first EPFO 3.0.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The 2026 EPF Overhaul, a new code on Social Security. To really wrap our heads around this overarching transition into the new code on Social Security, just look at the sheer contrast here. The old system was an absolute maze. I mean, if you wanted to tap into your funds for an illness, a marriage, maybe buying a house, you had to navigate through 13 separate, incredibly complex partial withdrawal categories, all with different rules. Just a total headache. But under the 2026 framework, you can feel the absolute relief. Those 13 complex categories have been completely condensed down into just 3 broad, simplified streams.
Moving right along to Section 2, your new contribution choices, empowering your paycheck. Let's look at the very start of your money's life cycle, focusing specifically on this new empowerment around flexible contributions. 15,000 rupees a month. Under the new rules, mandatory EPF contributions are strictly calculated on wages only up to the statutory ceiling. So this basically gives us a highly defined baseline for what absolutely must go into your fund by law.
And right on the heels of that is this number, 1,800 rupees a month. That represents exactly 12% of that 15,000 rupee ceiling we just talked about. Now, why does this matter to your wallet? Well, because any Provident Fund contribution exceeding this 1,800 rupee threshold has now been made completely voluntary for employees.
So what this really means is you have unprecedented freedom. You can absolutely choose to contribute a higher percentage or, pay on wages above the ceiling if you're looking to aggressively save. But crucially, and this is a big deal, you now have the explicit flexibility to reduce or completely stop those extra voluntary contributions at any point in your career. You are literally in the driver's seat here. Oh, and another key detail, employers aren't forced to match these extra voluntary amounts anymore. It's totally your choice, optimized for exactly what your personal financial needs are.
All right, Section 3, simplifying your withdrawals, relief for life events.
Because, let's be real, what good is a robust retirement fund if you can't smoothly access it when real life actually happens? So, here's how those new 3 simplified streams break down cleanly. First up, we've got essential needs. This covers stuff like medical emergencies, higher education, where you can actually withdraw up to 10 times during your service, and marriage, where you can withdraw up to 5 times. Second is housing needs. The restrictions for purchasing land, construction, or paying off a home loan have been greatly eased. And wonderfully, the minimum eligibility timeline to access housing advances is now standardized to just 12 months of service. And finally, we have special circumstances, which covers things like natural disasters or sudden economic distress. I really want to highlight the sheer convenience of this special circumstances category, though. If you find yourself eligible under this stream, you can now withdraw 100% of the permitted amount without needing to provide any reason. No document explaining the cause to the EPFO. Nothing. No bureaucratic hoops, no heavy paperwork, just the funds you need when you need them. So the crucial point here is this. Subscribers are now allowed to make advanced partial withdrawals from both the employee and the employer contributions. In the past, as you probably know, this was heavily restricted. But by letting you dip into the employer's share, this new rule substantially expands your immediate pool of funds that are available during emergencies. Okay, let's shift gears to Section 4, Job Loss and Safeguards, Protecting Your Corpus. While accessibility is fantastic, obviously, we also need to make sure there are safety nets in place to protect you during highly vulnerable periods, like, say, losing a job.
The new EPFO really balances immediate relief with future security. So, in the case of sudden unemployment, members can withdraw 75% of their EPF immediately to cover their living costs. But, and this brilliantly illustrates the point, notice that 25% retention safeguard. By forcing members to hold back at least 25% of their total accumulated corpus during these partial withdrawals, the system is actively protecting your compounding benefits. It basically prevents you from entirely wiping out your retirement future just because you hit a rough patch.
But rest assured, if that period of unemployment happens to persist for a full year, the rules adapt. Full 100% withdrawal of your remaining balance is permitted after 12 months of continued joblessness. So you aren't permanently locked out of your money if your hardship continues.
There is, however, an important stipulation regarding your pension portion. To stop members from accidentally sacrificing their long-term Social Security benefits when they're just shifting jobs, there's now an extended lock-in. The waiting period to withdraw from the Employees Pension Scheme, or EPS, has been officially extended to 36 months post-unemployment.
Which brings us to Section 5, the Digital First EPFO 3.0, Futuristic Access.
Now this is where we get to look at the incredible wow factor of the new tech-driven settlement speeds, which is honestly going to change everything. The rule-based auto settlement threshold has been elevated from 1 lakh all the way up to a staggering 5 lakh rupees. This auto settlement bump dramatically cuts down on manual human intervention, which allows the system to process and settle your online claims in less than 72 hours.
Just imagine this scenario for a second. You have a sudden medical emergency. In the past, you'd be stuck chasing down HR for signatures and physical stamps, right? But today, if you complete Step 1 and have your Aadhaar-seeded KYC fully updated, you bypassed employer approvals entirely. You simply move to Step 2, completing a self-certification via a quick OTP sent straight to your phone. And boom, Step 3, the funds are released. You are effectively authorizing your own emergency withdrawals directly from the palm of your hand.
Let's move to and see how this builds into an entirely new reality. The EPFO is actually progressively testing and rolling out direct withdrawal functions via the UPI apps you already use every single day. They're even introducing dedicated EPFO ATM cards. Pretty soon, you'll be able to access your liquid retirement funds as easily as scanning a QR code at a shop or visiting a cash machine.
Which brings us to our final thought today. The 2026 EPF Overhaul offers incredible, completely unprecedented control over your own money. But with instant UPI access to your retirement funds coming online, the ultimate question falls squarely on you. When the friction is completely gone and the money is literally just a tap away on your phone, will you spend it or will you have the discipline to save it? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps clear up your new financial future.